In this video, I'm going to discuss the three things that I think I personally would have done differently in my journey of residential assisted living. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every one of you have shown this channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you have not yet, feel free to go check out the God Made podcast, also Legion Assisted Living Academy, and Legion Assisted Living Advisors. All the links will be down below for each and every one of you to actually check out. So feel free to go do that. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and actually jump into the topic of this video. The three things that I wish I would have learned and would have honed in on, the skills that I wish I had prior to getting into residential assisted living, well, there are a couple. But the top three are, well, I'm going to start out with the first one is communication. Communication is absolutely critical when it comes to residential assisted living because you are dealing with people and you are going to be providing a service and actually in a way selling yourself and selling your service and also selling your home, right? The location that you'll be actually providing the service out of. And I didn't ever really have a sales job by any means in anything that I did previously. And because of that, I didn't really have to learn the psychological aspect of being a entrepreneur or even selling or even providing a service to somebody, right? I didn't really learn to ask the questions needed to know more about the potential resident that's coming into my home and the proper things that were needed for that client and for their family and loved ones. I would always just assume, hey, this is the service I provide. I would just be very straightforward. And that really didn't hinder me from succeeding in any kind of way or even getting any residents into my home. But it also wasn't the most genuine and authentic way to go about it. I didn't always just put the resident and the client first. I would always just kind of lay out my terms, what the services were, and that is all I did. I didn't try to go out of my way, try to learn more about the resident and their family, the things that they enjoy, the things that they love doing together, what the resident loves, right? The things that they were really needing and wanting. It was just more about, hey, you guys are coming to me and this is what I do. Hopefully I can get your guys' business. Really, that's what it came down to. And being able to communicate properly and being able to make sure that you are putting the resident and the client first and knowing if there are going to be a proper fit for your home. That was another thing that I didn't really learn early on. I just thought I had to take everything in because, well, why not? It's one empty bed that's filled, right? One less empty bed. And because of that, I would just take whatever. But I was honestly doing myself a disservice, my staff a disservice, and also that resident and the family a disservice because they weren't a proper fit for my home. And it was because I wasn't communicating properly and I wasn't telling them, hey, this home probably isn't the most appropriate fit for your needs and for the care that needs to be provided for your loved one. I suggest going to other homes, asking these questions, and in the long run, that is actually going to benefit you and your staff and yourself as well as the owner, manager, whoever is actually doing the tours, right? So communication was a huge thing that I wish I would have learned early on and been more considerate about when I got into this business. The second thing was actually relationships. Building those relationships, making sure that you always address any issues that come up in those relationships. Those relationships will be with the residents, with the staff, with the families, with the potential people who are actually coming, placement agents, hospices, nurses, aides. Building those relationships, knowing them on a first name basis, knowing what they're all about, what's going on in their lives occasionally, just being considerate of them and building those relationships. Building those relationships are key to actually running a successful business. It's not all about the fancy offices that you have and the nice cars that you drive and the nice clothes that you have. It's none of that that makes you a successful business owner, right? It's those two things, communication and relationships. Those are two key things that will help you succeed in any business venture, not just residential assisted living. And those weren't things that I really honed in on. Those are skills that I had to learn along the way as I continued my journey on this venture and on this journey of being an entrepreneur. It was never really, when you're working a job, yes, it's great to have these things, but they aren't necessarily honed in on, and they're not necessarily a big requirement. You're more there to just get the job done, whatever that may be, and move on about your day and move on about your life afterwards. And so those two things, communication, relationships, are very important. And I would say the third thing is making sure to learn how to say no, right? That goes hand in hand with what I was just previously saying of not taking everything into your home, because it's not going to end up being the right fit for your home. Learning to say no to a lot of different things is very important, just as much as it is saying yes to the right opportunities that come along. If you were to just say yes to everything and not learning to say no, you're going to end up having more on your plate than you can actually even handle. And being able to just say no in a polite, kind way is very important. There are opportunities that will come your way that, as much as they sound like they're going to be something that you want to do, you always need to take a few days to just take in consideration if it's something worth your while and if it's something that will actually benefit you in the long run. But if it's not, and it's just going to be more of an emotional decision right off the bat, then it's most likely not going to be the right decision. And that was also something I needed to learn early on in this business venture, and it's still something I'm honing in on more and more, because I don't want to feel like I'm obligated, but sometimes I do. I do feel like maybe this could be something that I may or may not regret later on, and that's kind of hard to say unless, in hindsight, you're like, dang, I wish I could have done that. I wish I would have invested in said venture or said yes to said person, and it could have been something, and it turns out to be something massive. And guess what? Those are going to be things in life that you're just going to have to accept and deal with, whatever it may be, right? You're just trying to go day by day and make decisions day by day and trying to handle things as they come your way. You need to learn how to do that. And for me, that's benefited me in a lot of things, right, in my life. Being able to say no to certain issues and to certain things that come up, opportunities, whatever they are, even meetings, even things that seem like would actually end up benefiting me. And there are times where I do say yes to certain things and to certain people, and nothing ever comes out of it, right? And it feels like a complete waste of time, and it feels like that. But at the end of the day, who knows down the road if something comes out of that relationship, and if something comes out of that meeting, whatever it is that you felt like was a waste of time. So you may never know, but it's always important to actually take in consideration all these things. So like I said, number 1 would be communication, 2, relationships, 3, learning to say no. Because those 3 things, if you can get those 3 things down, you will be really successful in anything that you do. And I believe selling all goes into that, being a salesperson, whatever it is that you do. As long as you incorporate all those 3 things, you will be ultimately very successful in all that you do. So with that being said, if you found this video very valuable and it helped you in any kind of way, please like that like button for me, and make sure to share this video with all your friends, family, dogs, cats, grandma, grandpas, whoever you think would benefit from this video. Also, feel free to subscribe if you have not yet. Check out all the links down below for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. God bless.